My name is Kate Crawford, and I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer at the age of 28. I had a set of 4-year-old twin girls that were in preschool. I had a son with special needs who was 2, and my husband was a police officer and worked crazy shifts, so it was really hard to be a young mom. And so when I made an appointment with my OBGYN to have my breast checked out, I never imagined what was going to be happening over those next 2 weeks. After a bunch of scans and a positive biopsy result for breast cancer, we actually found out that it was just about as bad as it could be. That the breast cancer, by the time we caught it, had spread to both of my breasts. It had spread to my liver. In fact, it completely covered my liver. It was all throughout my spine and in my pelvis. Once you are considered stage 4, which is metastatic breast cancer, which is breast cancer that spreads outside of your breast to your other organs, you have about a 15% chance of surviving for 5 years. And that women that are diagnosed at younger ages, which is like under 40, with metastatic breast cancer usually only live for about 18 to 24 months. And my first thoughts went to my kids. Who was going to care for them? Who was going to care for my son? My son needed me. Who was going to be able to get my twin girls ready for school? Who was going to take them to kindergarten? Like all these things. Was I going to see them get married? Was I going to see them have kids of their own? You know, would I see them get a job? Or even would I see them go to kindergarten? And I started a mommy bucket list. And this bucket list had all the things on it that I wanted to do with my kids, or that I wanted my kids to know that those are things that I wanted to do. One of those things that I really wanted to be able to do was I wanted to meet New Kids on the Block, and I wanted to go to a New Kids on the Block concert. And the first time I ever heard of Remember Betty was when Abby got a hold of me and told me that she not only wanted to let me go to the New Kids on the Block concert, but she wanted me to meet Danny personally. And I just was in such a state of shock. I was so excited and so nervous that that was like the first thing on my bucket list that I was crossing off, and I just couldn't believe any of it. So to be in the middle of treatment and to not be feeling good, and being told that you're probably going to be dead soon, to have such an amazing thing be given to you was just awesome. It totally turned the way that I was thinking during treatment, because all of a sudden I was receiving a blessing, and it was something positive. It was something I had to look forward to. As time went on and I was in treatment longer and going every couple weeks, I realized that it was taking a really big financial burden as well. I actually had someone say to me, well, how much money can breast cancer actually cost? Well, it costs a lot. You have co-pays, you have to pay for scans, you have gas money to get to hospitals, you have parking fees, which are outrageous. You have to pay for food while you're down there. It's not like just because you have cancer, you're automatically given like this free pass. Although it would be so cool to have it, it really doesn't happen. So as these bills come rolling in, and you have 3 little kids, you realize that other things have to give. So maybe this year Christmas isn't going to be as big as last year, or you're not going to be able to get them that birthday present, or you can't afford food for the week because you had to pay to get down to the hospital for your treatment. There's organizations out there that genuinely want to help you. And that's how Remember Betty stayed with me. It was always what they could do for you, how they could help you. And as time went on and I was still around, I beat that 18-month mark, I beat that 24 mark, I beat that 3-year mark, I beat the 4-year mark, and almost 5 years, and I'm still here. Remember Betty has really followed me along my entire journey and been there when I needed them the most. whenever, I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to afford Christmas presents because we had to pay a car payment that I had no idea about, and I still had to go for treatment and all these things together. And I got a hold of Abby and I just said, Abby, I really need help. And she was there for me and she was able to help me through that. And when I made the decision to have my double mastectomy finally, and I didn't opt for reconstruction at the time, I didn't even realize what an emotional toll that would take on me. And Abby was there for that, and Danny was there for that, and they were able to get me a gift certificate, and they sent me a bra with implants so then I could feel a little bit more normal. And when I had lymphedema from the surgery, Remember Betty sent me, a lymphedema sleeve so I could just function and still be a mom and still be able to get out there and do things, and for people to not even know when they looked at me that I had cancer. And I think that's one of the greatest things about Remember Betty. Remember Betty makes you feel normal in a time where you couldn't be any farther from normal. And I love that they recognize that and that they cater to those situations that you don't even think of. When you get diagnosed with breast cancer, you don't think about the financial burden it's going to bring. And that's why they exist. They exist because they want to be able to help you through those times. It's more than an organization. It's more than just a community of people. They're my family. And when I go out and I get to see them, I just automatically, no matter how much pain I'm in, or if I just got done with treatment, or I'm feeling sick, I automatically feel so much better because they love us. They love what they can do to help us. And I love whenever I get the chance to see Danny, because I know that one day my kids will be without a mom. And I know that he's been through that. And even though that he's been through that and he lost his mom, that he turned it around to create such a beautiful organization. And my prayer is that one day my kids will be able to look at everything that Remember Betty has done for us. And they'll be able to say, even though I lost my mom to this horrible disease, I'm going to do something about it for her. So thank you to everyone at Remember Betty. Thank you to all of the supporters. Thank you to all of the donors. And thank you to Abby. And thank you to Danny. And I just can't say it enough. You're the best.